Hi Stampers, it's Kelly from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this special holiday edition of my monthly online card club. This is an event that I've been running for almost 19 years, which is amazing to me. I'm going to be 19 years as a demonstrator this coming May. And I'm so glad that you can join me online. You might be here in Edmonton, you might be in Canada, or you might be watching from elsewhere around the globe. Can you please type in the comments where you're watching from? Because I love to know how far this video is getting. This video is a tutorial for the projects that I prep and send out anywhere in Canada. So if you are in Canada, please reach out to me and I can send you a set of these prepped projects that you can craft along with this video. And if you're watching live, don't worry, you can watch this on the replay. It's going to be available on YouTube starting tomorrow, Wednesday, December 17th. Can you believe that? I know, I wasn't going to say it, but I can't believe. I really can't believe it. It's so crazy. Okay, I'm just looking here, making sure that everything is working. Can you guys let me know? Looks good, sounds good. Oh, there's Michelle. Oh, I just flipped away from my screen here. Let me look. Oh, yay. It's so good to see you. I'm so happy that you can join. This month is going to go by, this crafting this month is going to go by so quickly because I've done so much prep work for you, and Stampin' Up! Has done so much prep work for you too. Of course, I can never take all the credit myself. My amazing assistant, Kathy, helps me out tremendously, and we sing songs and prep and die cut things, and I cut the paper. So yeah, we have a blast together, but I'm so glad that you're here crafting with us. So if you don't have a set of projects, seriously, will you reach out to me? It's $20 for the class, which includes the online instructions and the prep projects for 3 to 4 projects. Or if you place a minimum $35 order, you'll actually get them for free. So that's a much better way of doing it, especially since there are so many promotions on right now. Okay, what are the promotions? I'm so glad that you asked. Let's talk about them here. So the first special that I have been running for a few years now is a different special gift from me every month with a minimum $100 order. I almost said 35, but it's 35 for club. And then when you get to $100, you get a special gift from me. So these are actually the iridescent rhinestone gems. They are so gorgeous, and they've got colors of pink and blue in them, and they change depending on the light that you're watching them or looking at them with. But Stampin' Up! Is actually doing a special promotion with $100 now as well. So theirs is a product of the month is what it's called, and every month it's going to change. This month it is designer series paper, and what's it called? Something blues. It's really monochromatic and lots of pretty colors of blue within the paper, but not very much variance in terms of the varying from the theme of blue, but lots of different colors of blue within the pack. So this package is not going to be available for purchase ever. It's only available with purchase with a purchase. So $100 minimum order unlocks your ability to purchase this from Stampin' Up! And Stampin' Up! Had, when they first announced this, they had announced it that it was going to be $7. And then they printed in the mini catalog that it was going to be $5. So they're honoring the $5 price. Woohoo! Start the car! I love a good deal, especially when you're already getting some discounted items that are exclusive. So this would be regular, probably around $20 when it comes to shipping and handling and GST and everything. So this is a great deal to be able to snag this exclusive product for less. So the thing that you need to know is that it's one per customer. It's not with every $100 order increment. You don't have the opportunity to buy it. Once this has been purchased underneath your account, you cannot purchase this again. And so this information is interesting when we look at the fact that these are while supplies last. So they might sell out earlier than the end of the month, or there might be extra product left at the end of the month. If that's the case, then that product will still become available or still remain available for the next month's As long as they have it in stock, it will be there in the store, available for purchase with a minimum $100 order. So you can purchase it for $5. So let's run a what if situation. So what if we're in the second month and there's now 2 product of the months in that special folder. I'm just calling it folder, but it's a page on the website. This will, they both will be available to you, but if you have already redeemed for the paper, you cannot redeem for it again, even if it is a new month. So you'll have more options to choose from. You might even have several to choose from after a few months go by. But if you've already received that product, then it's been applied to your online account, and then you cannot redeem for a second one. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have questions, you just let me know, okay? So we don't know what it's going to be each month, but I'm really excited to get I think it should be arriving in the next couple of days, my version of this, my copy of it. You guys will have to forgive me. Words are hard. And you know what? This time of year, there's so much going on. So I forgot to mention, I hope that you have your pajamas on, maybe a comfy sweater, like a ugly Christmas sweater. Are you guys doing that too? Have you poured yourself a little festive beverage? This is an eggnog latte, decaf, of course, because it is 7 o'clock at night here. But cheers! This is in my Polar Express mug. We did the Polar Express experience a few years ago, and that sure was magical. Okay, I also want to talk to you about the fact that we've got new Last Chance products that have been placed into the Last Chance folder. So how we're doing retirement now, just as a reminder, that when a product is going to be selling out, this could mean that they have a lot left or they have a little left. It doesn't matter. But when they have decided that that product is not going to be replenished in the warehouse, that they're going to let the current stock sell out, then what they're going to do is put it on the last chance. So that means, hey, get this, it's not going to be restocked. Once it's gone, it's gone. Now, what you might be confused about is that sometimes there's a lot of inventory, sometimes there's a little inventory, sometimes there's a discount, and sometimes there's no discount. So those things all change, but what you want to do is take a look on my website. Oh, I have my puppy who wants to say hi, I guess. We have the website under the Last Chance products section. That will show you everything that's leaving, and it's going to show you the newest items added first. So you'll want to make sure that you scroll through, because just because things are discounted initially, they could be discounted even further later. So make sure you're taking a look through there. There's tons of embellishments and lots of different stamp sets and bundles and dies. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because there is something that could hang you up in the online store with the Last Chance products. And that is that the bundles are not discounted further. And I think the reason why is because they've already announced that bundles are bundle and save 10%. And so to discount them even more maybe would get confusing to people, like, am I saving an additional 10% off of the Last Chance price, or what's happening there? So they have actually made it easier than ever with the online store. You can see here, we've got the Jolly Holly bundle. This is a 2-part bundle, which actually comes with 3 different products. And we're going to be playing with these actually tonight. So with the Jolly Holly bundle, you can see underneath the add to cart, there are 2 more images. There's the Jolly Holly photopolymer, and then there's the Jolly Holly hybrid embossing folder. Those ones you can see have the Last Chance tag on them, and they are discounted. But you can see that purchasing those items separately right now is actually going to be much less than purchasing the bundle and save 10% price. I hope that makes sense for what to look for. This, you'll want to look at the items in your cart a little bit more closely, especially if you're purchasing from this Last Chance list. So I would hate for you to miss out on the discount there. And what a discount it is. This Jolly Holly hybrid embossing folder. That is a lot to say. That one is actually really reduced in price. So I think it was $58 regular, and it's now down to $28. So I know you're going to fall in love with this. Make sure you are adding this to your cart and checking out as soon as possible, because you never know if it's going to run out. It was in stock yesterday. I sure hope it's in stock today. Okay, let's talk about our kits. So Paper Pumpkin is our monthly subscription service that gets mailed to you every month when you sign up for the subscription. And I haven't received mine for this month yet. I wasn't expecting it. It just billed out and shipped on the 11th. So probably in the next few days it will be arriving, but not enough time to show you then tonight, not in time to show you tonight for what this kit looks like. But here's our little sneak peek. And that's all we get, are sneak peeks. But I'm really excited about the upcoming month. So this is the one that you will be signing up for right now if you join Paper Pumpkin. This is our special delivery, which has charming postage stamp details. This is for when you subscribe before January 10th. This will be your first kit that's sent out, and it will arrive to you around the 18th or so of January. So that looks like an adorable little kit, doesn't it? This one I'm full-blown obsessed with. Do you have the new mini catalog yet from me? If you don't, please reach out. I do have some in my bin, or I can send them out with my Christmas cards, which are yet to come. This catalog goes live in the new year, and so there's not really a rush right now, but some people really like to plan out what they're going to be getting and oogle and make their lists for all of the amazing things that are coming. And you guys are going to love this catalog. Puffy stickers, woohoo! And all kinds of other fun things. So this Celebrate Spring is when you subscribe January 11th to February 10th. And it says it coordinates with the Easter Joy Sweet Collection, which has these adorable bunnies. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're going to do a coloring class with these bunnies. Then, if you subscribe February 11th to March 10th, you get Fluttering Garden, which has these cute little hummingbirds. Includes a free additional stamp set as well. I love getting the stamps this time of year, or getting the Paper Pumpkins in March. They always seem to include an extra set, because I think it was the start of it actually. And it must be 11 years or 12 years or something that Paper Pumpkin has been going. So yeah, pretty incredible. All right, now without any further ado, we're going to get started with our crafting. So like I mentioned, if you're in Canada, I have most likely sent you, or you've picked up, a packet of card supplies, project supplies that have been prepped by me and Kathy. And these are all ready to go. So I'm going to take you through the instructions right now, but to be honest, there's not very much stamping. So we're going to be putting these together pretty quickly here tonight. I'm so glad that you could be here and we could cheers each other, and then also get some express cards done for the end of the year. Have you guys sent out your cards yet? I'm seeing people commenting. Michelle says, I love these gems. Priscilla says, just hopping in to quickly say Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you, Priscilla. So good to see your face on here. Michelle says, in my Mickey Mouse sweatpants and enjoying an iced tea. Very good. That's very festive. I love it. This first card that we're going to make looks something like this. And you would have received this if you picked up your projects from my house, or if you paid the little extra to have this posted to you. So what I do is, especially for the people who live near me, instead of spending money on postage, people actually love picking up their products and supplies from my house, their projects and their products. They will get their orders shipped there. So if you like to do that, then you get a bonus card, because then I'm not spending money on postage. But if you live away, I'm sorry, that option isn't available to you, but you can pay just a little bit extra each month to have this project shipped to you. So this is what the project ends up looking like. So cute, isn't it? I love the non-traditional Christmas colors. Let me see. I might put this light on too. Oops, sorry. Alrighty. I think we've got it now. You can see I've used some silver heat embossing on there to really make that saying pop. And the only other thing that I've used for this card is a bit of 𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚 because I just love it so much. So why don't we start with that? I'll grab out all my little pieces. And did you notice here, these little gems are the ones from my gift this month. So let me show you those. The iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. They have so much sparkle to them, and you can see the color really changes. Sometimes they look almost blue. This light is causing me grief lately. There we go. I think that's going to be better. There you can see them. You can see like the blue colors that pop out sometimes. Okay, let's talk about 𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚 here. We're going to flick this onto our paper. We don't need to do it in the center because we're putting our nice tag on there. But I just wanted a little bit of extra sparkle on this card. For one of my card designs, I actually painted on these little holly leaves. Can you see that? I just did down the center, and then I did the little holly berries. It ended up a little bit heavy-handed, in my opinion, just because I think my 𝙧𝙚𝙚𝙚𝙚 is a little bit new. So I'm splattering this one because I like the look of that. And now we can do our heat embossing. In terms of stamp set, I'm using the matchy one for this Jolly Holly. And this is the one that I was showing you is actually really discounted. I'm going to do Holly and Jolly. But there's another saying, bright and happy Christmas wishes, that also fits on there. Today was a stamping kind of day. I loved going over to my children's friend's house and stamping with the two daughters and the mom today. It was so nice. She's, you know, we're always friends through our kids' friends, but she's my friend too. I just love her to bits, and it was so nice getting to craft with them. And we had so much fun putting together some kits. Kits this time of year make your life so much easier, and if you haven't taken a look already, you can go to our kits collection. Oops, sorry, sweetie. I just kicked the doggy accidentally. All right, I'm going to scoop up my heat embossing powder. This is my favorite wow technique. It's just so much fun to do. So I'm using silver, and you can use your hand to kind of take off the extra grains there. Oh, and I was going to grab my take your pick tool. I have like probably 4 take your pick tools, and I have them all set up differently, but this one here I have with the big scalpel, and so I have my little putty one just as like a little nub here. That's all right. This will do the trick today. You can change them out, but then I would be changing them out all the time. I like using that little putty for grabbing embellishments, or you can use it even just like I did for getting any embossing powder that was out of position. So the heat tool is going to start to set this. You can see it changing. So it's melting the powder into the paper. And now we have this beautiful, oh, that light. Let me tell ya. Let's see. Can you see that now? Yeah, you can see it's really nice and shiny. All right, so let's talk about this embossing folder. This is one of our hybrid embossing folders, which is a totally unique design that I love that they've thought of here. So Jolly Holly hybrid embossing folder comes with 2 products in one. So you will receive the hybrid embossing folder. You can use this as a regular embossing folder. and just have the holly images pressed into the paper. But the wonderful thing about the hybrid version is that it actually has a die that nests right inside. I put a little bit of adhesive, like a little glue dot here. I think I used actually a bit of Stampin' Seal this time. And that just helps it to lock into position and stay put, even if you get a little bit of warping happening with your embossing folder. And when you sandwich the paper in there, crank it through your cut and emboss machine, your paper will come out looking like this. It's so cool because what these holly images have going for them is that they're connected, usually in about 3 spots. So we can lift up these leaves and we can even tuck them around this little rectangle tag that we're going to put over top. Now you'll notice on the back side that I have a little strip of tear and tape, and that's because there is one leaf when you cut this out that doesn't remain connected to the paper backing. So I just put that there to hold that in place so that you weren't doing like a little puzzle. But what we're going to do is put some tear and tape on the rest of it, and that will hold this down to the card. Tear and tape is one of my favorite adhesives recently because it's just so easy to use. And I've been doing so many crafting events with lots of new crafters. Have been having so much fun lately, you guys. I've been doing lots of corporate events, lots of team building stuff and Christmas parties and things like that. So just this last week, I'm gonna work while I'm talking, okay? Bone folder, there it is. So just this last week on the 11th, I was asked to come back to the Westin Hotel and do their client appreciation event. This is where they invite everyone that they've done business with over the last year or have done business with the Westin, and they've come to the Westin for a special kind of gala event. So they get a huge buffet and the chance to mix and mingle, and also some little activity stations. So they had caricatures and tarot card reading, they had ornament making, and they had me making some holiday cards. So I had 3 tables of 6, so 18 people crafting with me solid for the 3-hour event, and boy oh boy did we have fun. And we made some cards. I think there were probably over 150 cards made total, so it's incredible because there were 140 people who RSVP'd to the event, but obviously at this time of year people start to cancel and things come up, so I don't think there were 140 people there, but it was a good crowd. Definitely, I think 120 for sure. I'm putting dimensionals on the back side of the white paper, and then I'm going to glue down the silver paper with some tear and tape again. The tear and tape adds a lot of extra sticking power, and so I just love this adhesive for holding really nicely onto anything that is textured. Tear and tape is fire! I love it. Use it all the time, says Michelle. Yep, I love it too. I love that it is so easy to tear when you're finished putting down the strip, and the fact that you can prep things, have the adhesive ready to go, and then once you're ready you can just peel that backing off. I'm going to have to use my little tool here to lift up a couple of these. I didn't bend them, I guess, beforehand. So I'm just bending 3 or 4 of these to hold this in place. And you can kind of put your tag where you think you might have it and then figure out which ones need to be lifted up. I've made this card a few times now, so some things I'm just doing in autopilot. So make sure it's centered and then give it a nice press down to hold it on there. Now, when you die cut and emboss this, they still remain attached to the base, but there's a really quick and easy way that you can turn these into different embellishments. So for example, this sheet here, I did the same thing as the pretty peacock with silver foil. And so it's got this gorgeous texture and shine to it. And then you can just trim out the connecting pieces and you have little holly embellishments that you can add as an accent on top of your card. So I think even more versatility for this gorgeous die cut and embossing folder. I'm going to use the ones that I had already prepped here. So what do you think? Maybe this one and maybe this one. Let's see. I'm going to put some dimensionals underneath here. So that was my biggest event of the year, is the West End. And then we had a really wonderful, intimate experience, not the next day, but a couple days later at Cafe Crafting, where my kids and I were joined by a new friend, and she just did so well with her first time ever crafting. This is a great idea. She was actually making a kit as a part of a gift exchange. So you know how you can do, the Secret Santas or gift exchanges with your family and friends. So she was gifting them a set of handmade cards as well as a little desk organizer too. So it was so nice to be together, and the kids made their tags for their friends at school. And then of course I told you already about my crafting today. Oh, I think I did this differently than what I said I was going to do. Oh well, that's okay. We can pivot, we can go with the flow. Look at us. So then we had today crafting with friends from school, and of course card club last night and tonight. And then tomorrow I have another corporate event where I'm going to an office downtown to craft together as a group. Everyone's going to do a kit, and it could be different from each other as well. So this is a really fun way of doing it. You don't all have to choose the same things. I've given you 5 gems here, so you can put them together however you'd like. This one I think I might put all of them onto the actual holly berries. But you may have some extra ones that you might want to scatter around however you see fit. This is your project, right? And there you have it. You've got your beautiful finished card. As always, if you want to stamp a saying on the inside, I'll leave you to that. But we definitely like to decorate the outsides of our cards. And I've included envelopes for you too. These are clear envelopes that are perfectly mailable, and so don't throw them out, that's for sure. You can reuse them over and over again. And when you're mailing them, you can just write on the back side of the card, or you can put in a piece of photocopy paper with your address and their address on it. And this really helps them arrive in beautiful shape and lets your postal worker have a little bit of a show as well. So as soon as I'm finished making my cards, I actually put them in these envelopes so that I can store them and make sure that the embellishments stay where I've put them, because sometimes they like to pop off when you're looking through your card stash. Maybe you have them in a box or something like that. Okay, I'm going to show you now where these products come from, so you know where to find them if you are placing an order. If you are a member of my newsletter list, then you will have received some project supply lists already, and you're going to get updated ones tomorrow when I put the picture in. I don't like to do a sneak peek yet until I run my events. I like the oohs and the ahs to happen when we're actually crafting live. So tomorrow's project instructions, it's more like a link to the instructions since we're doing it on a video, but the supply lists here are going to be available in my next newsletter. So just shoot me a message with your email if you'd like to be on my newsletter list. I don't send out very many per month. So this project here for Jolly Holly, we use the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, and a reminder that you can't get those from Stampin' Up! Anymore. Those are from me as a free gift with a minimum $100 order. And then we use the Jolly Holly bundle, which you will not want to buy as a bundle right now. You're going to want to buy as separate stamp set and the hybrid embossing folder. So I showed you a couple pieces of the hybrid embossing folder, this folder itself, and then also the dies, but the die pack comes with even more shapes as well. So you've got the two rectangles that we use. So this one was cut with the silver and this one is the white. And then you've got the frames to go along with the bells, the poinsettia leaf, the holly leaf, and this little sprig. So you've got all of those. And then you also have a little joy that you can cut out on its own as well. So I made another project with this bundle actually. Do you guys want to see it? I'm going to show you. This one here was a part of my Sip and Stamp a Stack. And so attendees made this one kind of in a gold version with those little embellishments there. Designer series paper with the beautiful gold embellishments. And can you guys see here? We use this embossing folder as an actual embossing folder alone, not cutting out around any of those hollies. So you can see it just adds so much onto that card. It makes it so pretty and so special. And some gems on there, of course, really take it up a notch. Okay. We also, on this project, used some silver foil sheets. These are available from Stampin' Up! From the main catalog. They're 12 by 12 format, so you can cut them down. They have a lot of wow factor, whether you're using them just as a rectangle mat, or maybe even you're using them as die cutting and embossing. We use basic white, Pretty Peacock, and Lost Lagoon cardstock, and I took it up a notch with the Metallic Wows embossing powder, Versamark pad, and the Clear Wink of Stella, and of course that heat tool. All right, ready for the next project? Here we go. This one here is going to be our first official project. You know what? I'm just looking here, and I have a little bit of embossing powder that didn't set. So good thing I caught that, because I didn't smudge it off. What a miracle. There we go. Good to go now. And we'll have another little sip. This latte is going to be so cold by the end of this. I'm just like one sipping at a time. That's so good. What's your favorite holiday drink? Do you guys know that there's an eggnog latte? It's kind of on a secret menu, I think, at Starbucks. Have you guys tried it? So good. All right, this card here, I want to take you through because it looks a little bit different than normal. So we've got our cardstock base here. And what I've done is scored it. Okay, so it's 4 1/4 by 11. And then I scored it at 5 1/2 inches to make that standard cardstock base. And then I cut it at 7 inches. Okay, so it's 7 inches long. And then there's a 1 1/2 inch piece that gets cut off and a 2 1/2 inch piece that's then left over. You could also work the other way. So 1 1/2 inch piece, 2 1/2 inch piece. That's right, isn't it? 2 1/2, yeah. And then the rest would be left over, scored at 5 1/2. So what do we do with pieces like this? This is one of my favorite card layouts, which turns out looking like this. So with this, the front opens up, you can see here, and it ends up being kind of like a hovering, floating embellishment on the top. So we're going to take this bottom piece here, line it up with the bottom, and then once we layer things up, we're going to put this piece over the top, which will create the bridge between those two pieces and give us the extent of our standard card. Does that make sense to you guys? Oh, Coca-Cola. Yep, that's your favorite holiday drink. Does it have the polar bear on it and Santa? I love it. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start layering things, and maybe we'll start with our designer series paper here. I might use this one to make it look a little bit different than my other sample here. And also because I know what's to come, and I know this paper is going to be used in a different version of this color, but in that same kind of pattern. So I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to turn this over. But I do love that frosted look. Have you played around with, we used to have a product called Brusho that would give that look on the paper when you were watercoloring with ink. Give this like kind of frosted look. Okay, we've got our little piece here. Do you guys notice that it actually has textured embossing on it? And I didn't even do it. Wow. It comes like this, 6 sheets from Stampin' Up, and it's pre-embossed. It's 12" by 12", and it's just white cardstock. I'm wrapping my ribbon around here. Let's see, that's the right way, I think. Don't you love Stampin' Up's color coordination? It's just so stunning to see that we've got the exact same color of ribbon to go with the cardstock, and that goes with the designer series paper, and that just makes my heart so happy. So we'll wrap our ribbon around just the white piece, and then we'll layer it over top of the, what is this color? Shaded Spruce. But what I'm going to do is actually put the tear and tape over top. Why don't I finish this up, hey? Since I've got it out. I'm putting the tear and tape over top of the ends of the ribbon. It just seems to keep the ribbon nice and tight and doesn't slack, doesn't let the ends loose and start poking out the side. Makes your cards look so nice and neat when you've got those ribbon ends tidy and hidden from view. Now we can pop that onto our little rectangle. I think it does taste better when the polar bear is on the Coke. I love those little polar bears. It's funny how marketing gets you, hey? They know how to do it so well. Like Coca-Cola, pretty much one of the best, hey? At marketing and making you want something just by the look of it. In fact, I want a Coke right now. All right, so this is how it's going to end up looking. But while I'm kind of paying attention, I'm just going to flip this over because we don't want to put adhesive all over the back. If we do, we're going to glue our card shut. So we want to do a couple strips up here at the top, a couple strips down here at the bottom, and that's going to bridge it. And once again, I'm using my trusty tear and tape because it's so strong and it's going to hold this kind of precarious, almost impossible seeming card together in a really fabulous, beautiful way. There we go. So 2 layers on the top, 2 layers on the bottom. I'm going to take off this backing. If you're having trouble taking off the backing, I highly recommend you get a take your pick tool. And if that's still not doing the trick, just make sure you're rubbing it onto the paper, pressing it on really well. Then it will peel off a little bit easier. It's kind of counterintuitive that way. I just punched the table. Ouch. Okay, so we've got this, and then we've got this lined up perfectly with the bottom of your card. And then now we can kind of slide in with this and making sure that it's centered top and bottom. We can add this extra panel. And now when it opens up, we can see we've got this fabulous little floating panel card. What do you think? What should we call it? It has a name, but I don't look up names of folds. I don't know. It's been so many years and I don't do that anymore. So now we get to invent names. Floating panel card. I kind of like that. All right, we've got now an embellishment to put on there, and I wanted to show you not to waste the extra edges of your paper, because when you get this designer series paper, let me show you actually. It's like Jeopardy music. Come on. There we go. So when you get this paper, it actually looks like this. There's a repeating pattern which corresponds with the die cuts so that you can cut straight out of the paper and have it look so beautiful, delicate, and detailed. So we've got a die that works with the big one. We've got a die that works with the little one. You do cut off a little bit of it. You're going to be looking around going like, I don't know if that's right, but it is. No, it is. Come on, it is. Is that the right one? Yeah. We did this, oh, there it is. Oh, we just had to do a little quarter turn. There we go. So we can cut out big snowflakes and little snowflakes, but you can see some of the snowflakes are a little bit off the side. So like this one here. Don't throw those away. That is still a perfectly usable snowflake. And I'll show you how you can use it in a couple of different ways, actually. This die pack I'm going to show you in a minute is so packed to the brim with dies. I can't even get them in here properly again. Here we go. I'll be in there in a second, I'm sure, to show you them again. But okay, so that's how it looks on the sheet. But when you cut it out, you're going to have some bits and pieces. So you can actually piece these together and make the image look like it is a full snowflake. That's one way of doing it, okay? So just put a little bit of adhesive on the back, puzzle piece them together, ta-da, you've got a full snowflake. And nobody will notice. Like, nobody noticed mine here that was spliced together. Another way of using it is on the envelopes or even on the inside of the cards. All you do is have it coming in from the sides. This I would maybe use as a card front idea because this is a lot going on the inside of the card. But imagine this is a card front, and you could even just stamp a saying up there and it would look so beautiful. Add a little mat. You could put like a white on there or something, or maybe you went with that really dark color, right? That secret sea color. And then you could add a couple layers, make it look so pretty, add a gold saying. Oh my goodness, stunning. I'm just imagining it right now and it would be so beautiful. So please don't throw away those edges. I'm going to splice mine together and show you how to put this embellishment together on your card. Yeah, so tomorrow we've got corporate team building in a boardroom. And then I have a couple days where there's no crafting. Then my husband comes home. I'm so excited. He's been away for 3 weeks now, so it's really exciting to have him home in just a few days here. And then I have another corporate event back at the West End, but for a different company that's having their Christmas party there. So I'm really excited to be crafting with so many people in this holiday season. And I want you to keep it in mind for the future, because maybe where you work would love to have a corporate team building event. And I can tell you from experience, no matter the age, no matter the sex, everyone gets into crafting. It just seems to be the common uniter of everyone. I'm putting some extra dimensionals here now that I've got it kind of located where I want. I'm just going to pop it up, making sure though that I don't have anything on here. Oh, like what I just did. Yeah, I actually find that, so typically it's women who craft with me. I won't deny that. But I have to say, in a corporate environment, it's actually often the men that get even more excited than the women when we're crafting. Oh, I love this card so much. So now we've got our little saying here. This comes from our ephemera packs. And look at this, you guys. We've made 3 different card club projects with this ephemera pack. This is 1 pack plus 1 sheet from an additional pack. In a pack, you'll get 2 sheets each of 3 different patterns. And look at how much I have left after already making about 72 cards out of this. So you can get lots and lots and lots of sayings out of this pack. They come looking just like this, and they have adhesive backing on them. So before you start peeling the adhesive backing off, let me show you a special trick, because I don't want you bending it. It will really show with that beautiful gold embossing, and because this cardstock is actually so heavy. So if you were to bend this and peel this off, you would end up with almost like a wrinkly fold on the front, and it will really show with the embossing on there. So just use scissors or take your pick tool to pick apart this backing, and then you can stick it right on here. So you might have some smaller snowflakes. This is the one that I put together yesterday with these smaller snowflakes. And a bigger saying, I put the bigger sayings with the smaller snowflakes because I thought it balanced it out nicely. And then the final finishing touch is to put our embellishments on. We've got 3 of these gorgeous little iridescent, gold foil iridescent dots, I think is what they're called. I'm doing pretty good with remembering stuff today. Now that I said that, I won't in the future, but I love this card so much. The green just pops it out so much. And did you notice that these snowflakes are all made of spruce and pine sprigs? I love how unique that is. I've never seen that before, and I really have fallen in love with this pack of Designer Series paper and the corresponding suite that goes with it. So let me show you where these products come from, because if you haven't gone to the online exclusives, you probably haven't seen these. So this is our Delicate Pines. The Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite is the product collection, and that includes a few different things. So we've got that gorgeous shaded spruce. It's 7/8 inch wide ribbon, so nearly 1 inch wide. This is so nice for wrapping around Designer Series paper or cardstock. You can tie ribbons on gifts. It's great size for scrapbooking as well because it's so big. And yeah, use it for 3D projects, everything. It would be perfect. Then we also have the Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper. Let me show you that one. Lots of the paper in this pack have these really big, bold patterns. So you can see this is actually 12 inch by 12 inch, but the pattern is perfect for scrapbooking. And then, does the pattern even, oh, look at that. That looks so good. Even the seam kind of looks like it's a repeating pattern. Isn't that nice? Oh my gosh, I love it. So you could use this as a background for a 2-page spread. So on the back side of the paper, you've got that beautiful salt pattern. It looks frosty. Then you've got some sprigs and boughs with a peacock salt background. This is the one where I cut or I should say Kathy, my amazing Kathy, cut out the snowflakes. Then you've got a repeating pattern with a watercolor wash there. Now we go to the sprigs and boughs with a black background instead of the white. And this again can use the dies to cut out the Designer Series paper. The smaller snowflake came out of this paper here, so that's where you'll find those ones. And on the back side of that, we've got our beautiful old olive salt pattern. And then we've got another one that works with these big dies, big, medium, and small dies, and with a black background. And ta-da, that's the rest of the Designer Series paper there. So I think this is not available right now, but it is going to be restocked, so you don't have to worry about it being gone forever. It will be restocked. If you ever are wondering when an item is coming back in stock, you can reach out to me. One of the best ways of doing it, though, is going online, putting your email address in, and having Stampin' Up! Contact you the minute that it becomes available, because sometimes things come back in stock and then they're gone again right away. So that allows you to be a little bit more aware of when things are coming back, and it sure helps me out too. Cheers! Right. So we also have the Delicate Pines bundle, which I didn't use as a stamp set, but I did use as the die. So the Delicate Pines has images that coordinate with the Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper, and also some great sayings that work on its own. So celebrate the season, warmest winter wishes, it's the most magical time of the year, and then these snowflakes, which you can build up and make really nice repeating patterns with as well. So the stamps coordinate with the dies, even though they look a little bit shrunken down. Those dies do coordinate with those as well. the cover shows the images as a little bit smaller. And from the die pack we also have, so those are the two, like big and medium. Then there's a smaller snowflake here. Then there's like a poinsettia, and there's a few different versions of like little spikies that you can put on your project as well. These are like a build-a-sprig, so those centerpieces, you can trim those off if you want to, but they put those on there as an extra spot for reinforcing and putting your adhesive, so you can put those sprigs together. You've got little berries that you can add on there, beautiful leaf branches, pine cone detail, outline of a pine cone, the sprig to cut out the stamped image here, and then also what is this one here? Yeah, this cuts out a stamped image as well. So this one here. Lots of coordination in this and lots of greenery. This is maybe one of my favorite snowflakes that we've ever had because it's so unique and different. And don't tell my husband, but this is going to be his Christmas card because his favorite color is green, and it's just so perfect that it has the greenery and the Christmas vibes going together. So the greetings for you ephemera packs, I've already talked about those. Those ones I think might be out of stock right now, but they're coming back as well. So make sure you're putting your email down for those as well. Then on the back side here, we've got our iridescent foil gems. These ones are actually from our annual catalog, so they are in stock. Pretty solid. They've got gorgeous iridescent foil inside with a beautiful gold fleck in there too. And the final product looks so boring on the online store, but it really has a lot of interest in person. This is our Silent Snowfall 12 by 12 specialty designer series paper that looks so boring there, but look at this. It's got all that texture on the paper all ready to go. Comes with 6 sheets, 12 by 12. You can cut it up and use it for all different types of things. And I just love that it already has that delicate pattern embossed into it. Okay, you guys ready for the next project? Okay. Get my drawers in order here. Our next project. Oh, sorry, sweetie. It's cozy under there, isn't there? She's like right at my feet. The next project looks like this, and guess what? No stamping again, unless of course you guys are stamping the inside of your cards, which if that's the case, good job. It makes your life a lot easier because you don't have to write a big long message, right? I normally write a big long message, but at Christmas time there's a lot going on, and so I do really appreciate a nice stamped sentiment for the inside of the cards. And one of my favorite stamp sets has been this Words of the Season. This is one that is not continuing forward, so it's on our last chance list, but the dies are continuing forward. So that's why we don't have the bundle and save 10% as active. Sometimes they are both leaving, sometimes one is leaving, sometimes one is staying. So in this die pack, you've got Halloween and Happy Halloween and Happy Holidays, Autumn. You've got Greetings, Merry Christmas, New Year. So you can mix and match all these sayings, and then they go along with some of the sayings in here too, which you can add onto this banner as well if you'd like. But from the inside of the cards, I've really been enjoying "May the magic of Christmas fill each corner of your home and heart," and "May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness." This has Halloween greetings in here too. Let's toast to yesterday's achievements and tomorrow's bright future. And so incredibly grateful for all my blessings, especially you. So lots of great sayings there. This card, you can see, has a little bit of scoring there as well. So that's your first hint that it's going to be a fun fold. So I'm going to just put my little bits and pieces here. And then I'll show you the finished project. So this is one of my favorite fun folds because it's so simple, so easy, and really replicatable. This is a Z fold card. So the card ends up like this, but the front of the card has this wow factor and so much gold on there. So I don't know if you can see that there. This paper comes pre-embossed, and then we also have these druzy elements on there too. So when the card opens up, you've got this fun little Z fold, and one of the best parts is that it also will stay standing on the mantle. So let's start putting this together. Starting with our cardstock base, we'll burnish the score lines that I've already put in there. I did it at half and then half again. So at 5.5 inches, and then at 2 3/4 in from the other side. So then you've got this Z fold card. When we do this, I really like to have a corresponding color to go inside because it just adds another layer of fun. So let's do our stamping for that. I'm using 𝙧𝙬𝙧𝙙. This is the corresponding color to this very dark navy blue cardstock that we have as our base. This is a new in color, and it's so amazing that I find I'm using it instead of navy and even sometimes instead of black. So I've got my stamp here, inking that up, and I'll press that onto my card. My dog is underneath the desk and she's fluffing the carpet, like scratching it, trying to make a little nest or something. A strange little creature. I love her so much. She's my little buddy. All right, let that dry for a second, and then we'll start layering up our bits and pieces here. So I wanted to wrap the ribbon around but not have it visible or going around this red piece. So I'm going to put these two pieces together. So my designer series paper and then my soft sea foam smaller piece. And you'll know if this is the right piece of designer series paper if it fits onto the rectangle. If you are struggling, you probably have this piece which is going to go onto the front, and you can see it's just a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. So if it fits perfectly onto that soft sea foam, then that's the one for us. This is our shiny real red ribbon, and I'm going to do a sneaky little technique that adds a little bit of extra wow factor. And I'm going to just tie a knot into the ribbon about 3/4 the way up, and then I'm going to wrap that around my cardstock and designer series paper. So just on the back side here, I like to put a little bit of adhesive. And you can see that it doesn't matter how far over you put it. You can even put the letters over top of it, so you don't have to stress too much about the location of this. So a little bit of Stampin' Seal, wrap this around, and then do my same technique as always, which is going in with the tear and tape and getting that extra bit of reinforcing there. So sometimes I use the tear and tape as actual adhesive, like a double-sided adhesive like it is, and sometimes, like in this case, I'm actually going to put dimensionals here, and so I'm not even using it as its intended purpose, but I just love it for holding my ribbon in place and making sure that doesn't slip. There we go. You guys do this as well? I'm sure you do. Use up all those dimensionals, right? Even the little border pieces. Sometimes those work better for some shapes of pieces that you want to adhere. So we'll put that onto our real red matchy cardstock mat, and you will have a different width of mat. There's much more red showing than that 𝙧𝙬𝙧𝙀. There we go. And now we can start putting things together onto our cardstock base. Let's start with our designer series paper. I know some of you have gold foil on the back side of yours. Is it like causing you physical pain to cover that up? You can flip it over if you want. I just love the look of this beautiful 𝙧𝙬𝙧𝙀 pinstripe on the front. And then we'll put this piece in here too. That just goes nested inside. You've got a nice border around there as well. Perfect. Now when we get to putting on this next piece, we want to make sure again that we're not gluing our card completely shut. So what I like to do is flip it over like this, and then I can come in with my super sticky adhesive and make sure that the adhesive is on the side that I want. So just like this. I'll put a third one on there just for good measure. Making sure. If you ever have tear tape go over the side, it's really easy to adjust as well. It kind of folds back on itself really nicely. You can even kind of use your thumb to peel it off the paper if you put it in the wrong spot. Okay, got that. And now we've got our happy holidays. So you might have Merry Christmas, you might have Happy Holidays. I do want to mention that you might have it cut out like this. This is how Kathy started cutting it out, and she was just nearly pulling her hair out, so annoyed at trying to get this backing paper cut out perfectly. This is a really awesome product called I was doing so well. This is the very awesome, oh my goodness, and I don't even have it here. What is it called? I've got it flagged in here. Let me just bring it up, because it's just because I have lost my mind here. Adhesive sheets, like what? That's so simple. Why couldn't I not remember that? That's funny. You guys screaming at your devices like, it's called adhesive sheets, Kelly, come on. So these are double-sided sheets that you can stick onto anything. So in this case, we've stuck it onto some more of this plain cardstock, Secret C. And then we have used our dies and die cut this out. So when you lift this off, it actually sometimes works better when you're using it and you cut out this little piece here. If you have it like this, sometimes it's a little bit more finicky, but I'll show you how that works as well. So don't worry if you've got this border piece or not, they're both going to work the same. And if you are cursing your dies and wondering, oh my goodness, why is it not cutting out the rest of this to make this perfectly shaped? As long as it's cut out the cardstock, you actually don't, it doesn't even matter if you've cut out this adhesive backing sheet. I hope that makes sense. So now you can just peel off this adhesive backing and you've got a fabulous sticker in whatever color that you want. I'm going to start with the lowest word. And in this case, I won't be putting it on top of the letters, the letters on top of the ribbon, but you can see there's no problem there because of the adhesive. So I'm going to press that on, and then we take your pick tool to just pop out the little bits here that are extra. And there's that little backing. And this one here. You'll notice too that the first letters of these words are separate from the rest of the word. So that adds a whole other level of excitement in Kathy's life as she was die cutting these. So it works a lot better to leave them kind of attached to that cardstock border piece. Oh my goodness, there we go. Happy Holidays. I love this beautiful, oh, it is going to go over top. That's perfect. I was hoping that it would actually, because I love the look of it. And now, happy. You can put that just like that, and pop out those middle pieces, these little islands there. And there's a little backing piece in there. See, it is actually easier to do it the other way. So if you're die cutting these at home, just remember Kathy's plight and learn from the difficulty that she had with some of these and how much easier it is to just leave it connected. There we go. I was sitting right next to her, and you'd think I would have caught it earlier, but she's a trooper, that one. She just kept going and kept going, and then we pivoted about halfway through. So there we go. Happy holidays. Oh, I love this so much. This cursive is just stunningly gorgeous. And especially with that dark lettering over top of the gold paper, it's really pretty. So our final finishing touch on this project is going to be putting on these druzy elements. And you want to talk about glitzy? These are as glitzy as they come. They're even kind of pokey, the top of them. So there we go. Put these two up there. And now you've got this gorgeous, elegant Z-fold card. So easy for people to understand how to open it and how to interact with it. Looks beautiful on a mantle, simple, gorgeous, and really maximizes your paper too. So this designer series paper piece is just a tiny little bit smaller than 3 inches by 4 inches. So you'll actually get 12 of these cards out of a sheet of designer series paper if you'd like. So pretty, right? Okay, where do these products come from? Well, we actually have some mini catalog items for the first time this time. We've got from page 23 this beautiful Christmas, what is it called? Traditions of Christmas designer series paper. This paper, I don't have very much of it left. Oh, I've used so much of it and it's so beautiful. But let me show you what I do have. Every sheet of this has gold embossing on it. So can you see all the gold on there? And then we've got gold embossing again on a different pattern. That's just been cut up a little bit. And then on the back side, you've got a little bit more of like solid patterns and things that you can use to accent it. But every sheet of this is just the most stunning ever. Oh, this was some of the paper that I used actually for that project that I showed you earlier. That 'Tis the Season. I did a red ribbon and a Secret Sea version of it. So pretty though, hey? All right, the rest of this is, I think, gone, except for maybe the real red ribbon, but the stamps and the dies are gone, and the embossing folder, I think, are already gone. But check the online store if you're interested in those. Those might be still available depending on your market, or maybe if I missed them accidentally. All right, we also have the druzy adhesive backed embellishments. I'm going to just flip to this page here. Ready to go. So the druzy embellishments and the adhesive sheets. So adhesive sheets are on page 113 of the annual catalog. Page 125 of the annual catalog are the druzy elements, and those ones come in champagne and white in a package. I call them gold and silver, but sure, champagne and white. Absolutely. We also have the bundle that is words for the season, and like I said, this isn't the best deal. Bundle and save 10%, I don't think anymore, because the stamp set is discounted, but you'll have to just double check on this. We went through this earlier, but just quickly I'll show you. The dies have all the different words on there. Merry, happy Christmas wishes, greetings, autumn, New Year, holidays, Halloween, and a little banner. And then the words for the season have some sayings for the inside of the card or to go along with it. And I use the Simply Scored tool to get those nice score marks in your card. And that's all she wrote for that project. Cute, right? Are you guys starting to think which one is your favorite? Are you like me and it's like my favorite is every one that I've just finished? It's like, oh no, that's the one. That's the one I love. All right, we've got a shaker card for your last project here. I know that many of you love shaker cards the best, so this one might just win by default because you love it so much. We are going to use these tree shaker domes along with some gold shaker stars that I've given you. So your little package, if you wouldn't mind, what is that called? Giving it back to me. Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Giving it back to me, that would be awesome, because then I can keep reusing the containers. Mine is going to be more full than yours because I am working with the leftovers of everything that I divided up for you. So the finished card is going to look something like this. We've got our beautiful gold embossed saying on there, some extra stars, and then our little shaker dome here, along with some beautiful ribbon. And this is called a bookbinding fold card. So it kind of has a binding on the spine here, and then this little piece opens up. So let's make this card together. Again, no stamping unless you have something that you want to stamp on the inside. Oh, I've got merry and bright this time. Love that. Okay, so let's take a look at our cardstock base here. So once again, we are working with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that's been cut in half lengthways. So 4 1/4 by 11. Then we've scored at 5 1/2 inches and at 4 1/4. And that makes sense because we want a square on this front cover. So it's already 4 1/4 and we want it to be 4 1/4 there. And then 5 1/2 means that we've got some nice dimensions that we're working with for making this designer series paper layers on top. And I mean nice because it works out that really well with the sizes of designer series paper, which is 12 by 12. No barking, thank you. So before we put this card together, hi, Suya, I'm working right now. You gotta go to bed. Yes, a huggy. Okay. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. I know. All right, good night. Yeah. All right. See you tomorrow. And see you in a bit. Can you get her to be quiet, please? Yeah. Okay, so then this piece here is to be glued on, and then we're going to wrap our ribbon around that, then seal our book binding totally shut. She's used to coming down on Mondays, so she doesn't know that this one is the one that's going on YouTube, and I don't really want my kids on YouTube, but that's why I was like, all right, good night, bye, see you later. Yeah, if I can keep my kids off the internet for a little bit longer, that would be awesome. There's a different way that you can actually get this little piece here. So sometimes what I've shown in the past is that you can take your ribbon, you can wrap it around just like this, and then you can take the extra piece and tie it on, and then that would make it look just like this. What I'm going to show you here is a little bit of a different look because I'm going to tie it around a Sharpie. So you can do this around any type of marker. Yesterday I tried doing it around one of our Stampin' Up! Blender pens, but this had a cap on the edge which kind of made it so it couldn't just slip off nicely and easily. But let me show you this cool way of doing this. And I can't remember who I saw this from, but I feel like it was at On Stage or Backstage that I just went to in Vegas. I can't remember. So tie a double knot, nice and tight, and then you're going to slip that off. I kind of did this up about 3/4 the way because yesterday I did it kind of in the middle, and I don't know, I just wanted it a little bit more off center than that. I could have given you, oh my goodness, wouldn't that have been nice if I gave you an extra centimeter of ribbon? Sorry if it was cutting it a little bit too close for you there. But what we'll do now is wrap this ribbon around your cardstock base so that the ends will be neatly inside this bookbinding fold. And we'll make sure that it's not going to move because we're going to do that sneaky trick of putting the tear and tape over the top. So I wrap that around. That's okay. Nobody will know that I didn't give you quite as much as I would have hoped. So I'm going to put some tear and tape around the bottom and the top. And then I'm also going to put it right down the side. Oops, peeled a little bit off. Extra there. So then I'm going to put a little bit along the edge here, right next to the folded edge so that it doesn't lift off too much. So if you haven't joined us on a Monday before, that's our interactive Google Meet. It's like Zoom style, and it's so much fun because we get to visit and chat and have so much fun. And then this is the one that is on Facebook Live, where you are basically just watching me and hopefully commenting along. And this is the one that's recorded for YouTube. So if you ever want to switch things up, join me on a Monday instead. It's so much fun too. So now I've got this little loop here, and I can put my scissors on an angle, snip that, and then ta-da, you've got this cute little tie. Look at this, is a little bit longer on this side, so I'll trim a little bit off that one. And now you've got this tie that makes it look like you've tied another piece on or done something magical there. So for the part here, so you can see I glued that front binding closed. There is no score on the back. This is just at 5.5, and then this one's at 4.25. Let's start putting together the front of our card here. So we're going to take our shaker dome, and you can kind of do a little test run here to show how it's going to do. We're going to take the adhesive off of the front of the card, the adhesive backing. And sorry, this is not a card, this is the shaker dome that we're going to take the adhesive off of. And then now we can press this right into this awesome little die cut opening that we have. For the rest of this, you know what? Let's just use some tear and tape. It's like tonight's episode is brought to you by tear and tape. But tear and tape is so handy, especially when you want maximum sticking power. So I'm going to go top and bottom and sides. This little shaker dome outline here is what's going to keep the gold stars in the visible part of the shaker dome. And then the rest of this is just making sure that our cardstock and our designer series paper are nicely adhered together. Okay, so now what we want to do is figure out where our tree is going to be, and then make a little mound of the shaker pieces. I did have a little spoon down here, but I don't know where it is anymore. So I'm just going to do a little dump. If you wanted to keep some of the pieces left over, you can see here just above the Noel, there's 3 stars. And then there's 2 stars kind of adhered below the Noel. So you might want to reserve just a couple of pieces so that you can get some embellishments happening on the outside. Put a little bit more there. I think I gave you about that amount. And let's do a test run to see. Oh, I have to move it over a little bit. Looking pretty good, but still needs to go over just a hair. I don't want to adhere it in between because then that defeats the purpose. Now my card wants to open. Sharpie to the rescue. Let's take off all of our adhesive backings here, and then we can place our designer series paper with our dome right onto the card. Are you guys loving these cards so far? I sure hope so. They're pretty quick and easy. They don't require a lot of extra effort, just assembly. And these are the type of cards that you don't necessarily want to put in the mail because either they're, you know, thicker. This one's a really thick one, but they have that extra wow factor. So hopefully you've got some special people. Maybe you're going over to celebrate at people's houses and you want to give them a nice little card when you get there. There we go. So now we can put that on there. We've got our shaker, and we can put our Merry and Bright on with dimensionals, because dimensionals are the best. And I'm going to use little edge pieces here. I love these edge pieces for weird shaped things. You can cut dimensionals in half too, of course, but it's really nice to use these edge pieces. There we go. So flip that over, pop that in there. Oh, I just love that against that dark designer series paper. Isn't it stunning, designer series paper? This is that same one as those snowflakes. Remember the pine snowflakes? This is the darker version of that sheet. So I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen, put little dots, and make it look like I've scattered a little bit of the sequins around, but it's very meticulously placed. And now I'm going to use my take your pick tool, the little putty tip, and I might have to dump a couple here. You don't necessarily want to use the open ones. Those ones are going to make your life a little bit too tricky, but any of the solid stars will work well. And I just use the tip of my pokey tool, so you can use it kind of together like that to put these pieces in place. There's a cute little star that I want to get. There it is. That'll be perfect for up here. And another medium-sized star. There we are. Perfect. So when that glue dries, it'll be nice and clear. It will be a little bit shiny, so you don't want to go too crazy all over your project. But I just love the look of this card, and it's so interactive, so playful for all ages. I think all ages really love a card like this. You got lots of glitz on there, and that fun bookbinding fold, which just kind of adds extra interest. Let's talk about where these products come from. There's a lot of online exclusives again for this card. And so we've got our tree shaker card. We've got the Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite collection. I showed you that one before, but just quickly, that is the one from our other snowflake card with the pine boughs. And we've got the Christmas Words Collage Hybrid Embossing Folder. So this embossing folder is unique. It doesn't have a stamp set going with it, but it does have the dies. And unfortunately, this is sold out from Stampin' Up. So sorry to say that it has sailed away already, but that's how we got all the different sayings and cut out and embossed with the gold foil. So again, silver foil, gold foil, both I think essentials in your collection. And then we also have another online exclusive. This one's from a little bit before. And it's that beautiful mossy meadow and gold ribbon. So one side is very gold and one side is a little bit more of the mossy meadow color. So you've got a little bit of variance in excitement that you can use for your projects. I don't know if that's showing on camera, but just believe me, it is. On the back side here, we've got gold shaker stars. Those are from our online exclusives, as well as our tree shaker domes, which are sold in a pack of 10. They're so cute, aren't they? They have a coordinating stamp set and die pack that go along with it. So Pine Tree Trimmings is the name of the stamp set. And then the die pack, I have to show you it here because I couldn't find it earlier. So the dies have a pine tree to cut out the 3 trees in the stamp set, as well as two kind of rectangles, so a rectangle and a square, cutting out this little bow and a star, and then a little garland that can go across the tree. This pattern here. So you can bundle and save 10% for those, but again, if you're double checking, just make sure that those are not cheaper to buy separately at this point. Now, many people have asked me about and kind of expressed a little bit of confusion because we have something, another online exclusive that is kind of similar. The Ornamental Christmas is another one that has these little pine trees. These are not interchangeable using with the dies and the shaker domes, and I'll show you the reason why. The dies for this Ornamental Christmas, they only have 2 swoops, whereas these have 3. So you can see this does not correspond with that, and it also does not correspond with the tree shaker dome. So just a reminder that Ornamental Christmas is a standalone suite and a bundle that doesn't correspond with the tree shaker domes. If you want to be shaking it up, make sure you're getting the pine tree trimmings. That's the one for you, okay? So now the most important part of the event, when I hear from you. So please write in the comments, which one of these card club projects do you like the best? Do you like the shaker tree with the beautiful gold stars inside? Do you like our Z fold with the very modern colors of the Secret Sea and soft sea foam? Maybe you like our kind of tricky fold. It's not really a fun fold because it opens up the same way, but it's a tricky cutting design with this snowy pine bough. Maybe you like the Jolly Holly that we did at first there, that has a little bit more non-traditional colors, but a really fun textural card. What do you think? Favorites are the floating panel card. Oh, that's a good one. Did I call it that, or is that your name? I like it. We'll go with it. And the shaker card. So Michelle is loving these too. If you're watching this in the future on replay, please write in the comments what your favorites are. And now we are going to switch things around. There we go. And just say a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of my crafting community. It could just be this video that you tuned in for, or maybe you've been crafting with me for years. Whatever it is, I hope you reach out to me, and I hope that we can craft together very soon. Happy New Year and happy holidays.